humanity and the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses Osei of Sakodi of TRC, Ghana, coming to you with this emergency exposés, testimony, new world disorder. You have seen part 1, which is entitled Dedicated to Israel, Palestine, and my family. Dedicated to Israel, Palestine, and my family. You have seen the part 1. This is supposed to be part 2. Part 2 was being recorded. I'm recording this from Kumasi, Patasi, in the residence of my family, my uncle Nana Daniel Popoje, whose precious life was taken by the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo. And this US undercover agent and their cronies in America. This is where we are recording this expose from by the government. You have seen an announcement on the page, the channel Testimony New World Disorder, exposing the government of Nana Addo Akufo having attacked us immediately with total blackout to prevent the exposés from coming. We have seen that as soon as we expose them with the announcement, they have turned the power back on. They can continue to do whatever, but what humanity and the nations of the world, United Nations, what we tell the government of Nana Addo Akufo is they can choose to freeze all the assets of my uncle whom they have killed. They can continue to suppress and intimidate, put my family under all the intimidation that they want. They can go ahead and continue doing that. They can freeze all his assets like they did when he was alive. They can continue to freeze his assets. But the truth is, I would not let the precious blood of my uncle be concealed. I would not. I would not let my 2 tortured and abducted children, Elizabeth and Grace, to become the reward for crimes. I would not allow the peace, security, and stability of Israel, Palestine, noble Muslims of the nations of the world, Judaïsts, Christians, and the nations of the world to continue to be endangered by the government of Nana Addo Akufo. I would not allow them to conceal the blood of my precious people. I would not. And therefore, they should get it clear. I am demanding justice and nothing short of justice for my people of Ghana that have been killed. I'm demanding justice for my precious uncle. I'm demanding justice for my father. I'm demanding justice for my 2 tortured and abducted children. That is the only way to peace. Period. We have no discussion in this matter with any member of the government of Nana Addo Akufo or any member of his government or his government. No one. We have no discussion with them. Period. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akwa to the program Testimony New World Disorder. This expose is coming to us on Saturday, the 15th of May 2021. I will not have my people of Ghana be killed as though they are animals. That somebody want to tell the nation and the people that the people that have been killed, they belong to political parties, and therefore this is an issue of political parties covering up the crimes of the killing of my people. I would not accept that. Ghana, we should not accept that. We accept that, and the killing continues against us until the end of the world. We should demand justice, and we should demand accountability for the killing of our people. We should demand accountability. Akwa to the program Testimony New World Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. This is what we were saying before the exploiting the exploiting the surveillance at this residence, and in the room where I'm recording, cut off the recording immediately. This is part 2. We are continuing. Ghana, humanity and the nations of the world. Yeah, they don't want the world to know how the evil being done in Ghana directly is impacting the situation of Israel and Palestine, being that the problem created by the government of Nana, created by John Akufo, Nana Addo Akufo, Mahmoud Bawumia, political diplomatic stakes in Ghana and their cronies in America, how it is impacting the humanity and the nations, how it is impacting the United Nations. They don't want the world to know it. But however, we are not giving up until total justice is served. All men are created equal, and I will not allow my children to be made a reward for crimes, and I shall not remarry the US undercover agent. Period. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akufo to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. We were talking about the fact that when I had returned to America after the kidnapping that was orchestrated by the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo and the CIA from the US Embassy, I had to go back to the US because the Ghana Police Headquarters, the BNI, the Politicized National Security, they had all hijacked the state, the administration of John Akufo. They will not let the nation run. They will not let justice prevail. And tactically, John Akufo, Nana Addo Akufo, their diplomatic, political, and religious stakes in Ghana and their cronies in America, they had tactically entangled Israel with their crimes, and they have pushed Israel to the corner, so that if I would expose the crimes of the lynching and the kidnapping, in that way, Israel would also have to, Netanyahu and his administration would have to withdraw from me and cut their solidarity with me and behind His Excellency John Ivan Fifi Atamils for their effort, for the administration of His Excellency John Ivan Fifi Atamils, his effort to get justice for me and to cease the persecution and terrorizing against me. So they strategically had to put Israel in a tight corner by the kidnapping and humanity and the nations of the world. So in America, I had in the year 2011, I had told the United Nations, the U.S. government, that if the issue does not, my two tortured and abducted children, like we know, because when I was kidnapped, they had to assure their undercover agent that all is finished with me. So she was engaging in extramarital sex with his boyfriend, who has been Henry, who has been in the marriage all through, who has been in the life of the undercover agent before they set up marriage. So I got to US and they have abducted my children on the 13th of June 2011, and I had to fight back peacefully and approach the law that my children must be returned by a set number of months. If the children are not returned, I will take the case to the International Criminal Court. The months got due, and the United Nations can testify from their records that I had to stand by my words and take the issue to the International Criminal Court, Hague, in 2012. Humanity and the nations of the world. Amidst me taking that measure of taking the issue to the International Criminal Court at The Hague, I had shown up at the White House. I had also cautioned that if my children are not returned, I would take the photograph of the U.S. undercover agent openly to the public, to the White House, and let the whole world know about the heinous crime that had been committed. I will expose her with her picture and the pictures of my tortured and abducted children. And humanity, I did that at the White House in my addresses. This was the time that the nations of the world, people from all over the world, we have Israel, coming, so always showing up in solidarity. People from Palestinians, we have Muslims, Christians, all coming to the White House in my address showing solidarity. We have Indians, Chinese, Russians, people coming to show their love, standing with me in such a heinous crime against me and against my tortured and abducted children. So humanity and the nations of the world. In that process, I had to expose the lynching and the kidnapping, and I had to mention the fact that the lynching and the kidnapping was the work of the CIA and the U.S. Embassy, the terror network of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, John Akufo and their cronies, who have taken Ghana's oil to themselves. And in exposing that, I had to mention that the ambassador to the U.S. ambassador to Ghana, as at then, was an Israeli. However, he wasn't representing Israel as a state, and he wasn't acting on the behalf of Israel. So I had to reiterate that Israel did not get me kidnapped and did not get me lynched. It was the government, it was the terror network for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, John Akufo, they demanding that I should be giving over the government of John Akufo had been hijacked, and with the CIA, they did that. I had reiterated that. But humanity and the nations of the world, these were moments that made His Excellency Netanyahu unhappy, because I had mentioned that the U.S. ambassador to Ghana was an Israeli. That in a way would endanger the peace and security of Israel. So it made the solidarity and the love that His Excellency Netanyahu and Israel as a state had shown for me. This was an open thing. I can show you photograph of Israeli coming to stand with flags, stand in solidarity with me. This was not a secret thing. So it's unfortunate that it's not everything that happens in the world that can be put in the public domain like that. But as I speak, these were the times that total media blackout has been put on the heinous crime by the administration of Barack Obama, and in Ghana, total blackout has been put on the issue because it was demanded by global stakes, political, diplomatic, and religious stakes, and nobody, the world cannot. The media cannot broadcast this issue. There have been instances where television stations, rep from the television stations and radio stations had come to interview me, and immediately Barack Obama and his administration have told them they cannot air it. You know, so that was the situation, and it made the solidarity that His Excellency Netanyahu and his administration on the private note has been putting behind His Excellency John Evans PP Atta Mills in their fight for justice for me. So it made Netanyahu and his administration had to withdraw. This was so from 2012. The love and the solidarity that I had from Netanyahu and his administration was cut off. So we should not be surprised as to how eventually in 2006 the political, diplomatic, and religious stakes in America and Ghana had to twist the arm of the electorate of Ghana. Charlotte said they have to hack the EC computers and put Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, their cronies, so they can have the way of covering up the heinous crimes against Ghana and humanity. Waiting has continued to this day. Akwaba to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. So humanity and the nations of the world. We want to emphasize over and over again that what is happening to Israel and Palestine now, today is the 15th of May, there is the root cause. It's not everything that, as I say, there is a media blackout. The truth is, this site is trapped. It is trafficked by the crime coverage sticks. They decide who should have access to the this information that are coming. I don't control it. They use the strategy of, if even you manage to have access to it, they can, in order for it to seem as though nobody is patronizing, to as a strategy to demoralize me to give up. It will not even show that you are showing, you are viewed in the video. They have a strategy of doing that. And meanwhile, the national security, or politicized national security, the BNI, the Ghana Police Service, various intelligence service sticks around the globe, they have access to it. You don't have to be in, let's say, any academic institution to have an online program. You don't have to. I shouldn't go there. It's okay. Let's stay focused. But all I want you to understand is we are totally hacked and we are under complete surveillance, and this program is trafficked and it's controlled, and they determine then who should have access to it. So let's go on. Akufo to the program testimony, new word disorder. So what we need to understand is John Akufo, Akufo, Mahamudu Bawumia, they have done this evil with their political cronies and their cronies in the US, tactically and willfully, setting up Israel, setting up Palestine in such a way that in their minds, while they see what is going on in Israel and Palestine, to them, their attention is off them. So they are okay. They are not the people dying. They are not the people suffering the injury. So it is okay to them. Humanity and the nations of the world. But it is not okay when fellow human lives are at stake. That is why we need to come out with this expose to let the world know that it is not Israel, it is not Palestine, it is not the noble Muslims of the nations, but it is not the Christians of the nations of the world. It is Nana Addo Akufo, it is John Akufo, it is Mahmoud Bawumia, it is Ambassador Edu says, and their cronies at the Washington DC Ghana embassy, and their other cronies who have continued to remain in that embassy to aid terror against the soil of Ghana and against my life in America. They are the people that are to be blamed. It is Barack Obama, it is Donald Trump, it is Ban Ki-moon, who have willfully brought humanity and the nations of the world into this state, who have brought Israel and Palestine into the current state. Therefore, we all need to be very circumspect and share the pain of the Israelis and Palestinians and stand with them and for the peaceful coexistence of the precious people. Humanity and the nations of the world. Akufo to the program, Testimony, New World Disorder. It is Emmanuel Bafo, Peggy Bafo, Margaret Bafo, Bebet, Paul Ambene, the brother of Paul, Kenneth Tedeku, the terrorist who has gone to hide in Florida. It is his brother in the United Kingdom, Shelley Akwando, Atto Akwando, the US undercover agent, the political sticks in America, diplomatic and religious sticks in America and Ghana, who willfully created this problem. They are endangering the peace, the security and stability of Israel as at now. you would realize that since I started the expose when I came to Kumasi, it hasn't been long when tempests have flared up in Israel and Palestine. Believe it, humanity. There has been the diplomatic side of this issue. There has been the intelligence and political side of this issue. Global forces know how to handle the issue, to shift the attention of humanity from the fact that this issue impacts the whole of the human race. They have done this for years. So I want us to understand that the irresponsibility of the government of Nana Addo Akufo Addo since I came to Ghana on the 7th of December, the willful covering up of the killing of Ghanaians by the top ranking of the Ghana Police Service, which has been a part of this whole problem from 2004. We want to iterate that the politicized national security of Ghana, we want to emphasize that the BNI, which is now permitted as NIB, the irresponsibility that they have engaged in up to this very time, they are not just endangering the peace security of Ghana. What they are doing is impacting the entire nations of the world. It is impacting Israel and Palestine. It's impacting entire Muslim and Christians of the nations of the world. They must stop such irresponsibility. They should cease. They are troubling Israel and Palestine. Akwa to the program, Testimony, New World, Disorder. Humanity and the nations of the world. We would continue in part 3. This dedication is coming to Israel, it is coming to Palestine, it is coming to my family in Kumasi. I want to say it over and over again that Israel has done as a state. I know that I will not hide it, that His Excellency Netanyahu and his administration, they pick offense as far back as during the administration of His Excellency John Evans Fiata Mills. Although Evans Fiata Mills allowed the U.S. military, allowed the U.S. embassy to be established, the Israeli embassy to be established after a whole 30 years, which was a step in the direction, right direction, so far as there being peace in what problem John Akufo and Addo Akufo Addo, political, diplomatic, religious stakes in Ghana and America have created for humanity. The step that His Excellency John Evans Fiata Mills took by allowing the establishment of the Israeli embassy on the soil of Ghana one more time was a step in the right direction, was a step for peace. However, like I was saying, that also came with its own challenge, because the terror network of Nana Addo Akufo Addo, John Akufo, Ambassador Edu said the stakes that have created this problem, they were not happy about the reopening of the Israeli embassy on the soil of Ghana, and they were not happy about the solidarity, the support that I was getting from Israel on a private note, to let the noble people of Islamic world, to let them know that this is an exceptional case. It is not that I have committed any terror act, or I'm a Muslim and I'm engaging in terrorism and Israel is supporting me, or the noble people of the people of Islam are standing on my behalf on the right direction. So this is a very terrible situation that Nana Addo Akufo Addo and John Akufo and the stakes have put Israel and Palestine, put the entire Muslims and Christians, Judaïsts of the nations of the world, the entire human race to a very tight corner. And I would not hesitate to openly condemn over and over again the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, that he totally totally disabused he totally abused his office as the UN Secretary General with various institutions of the United Nations to exploit this situation, exploit my innocent children, Elizabeth and Grace, to let Ghana, America, humanity, and the nations of the world be where we are now, to let Israel be where it is now, Palestine be where it is now. And this is totally unacceptable. We should not, as members of the human race, we should not accept in any way. It is true and it's a fact that my family in Ghana, family members, just like the US undercover agent and all their cronies in America, they benefited. My family benefited. However, it is totally unacceptable that my family members have been killed. And the government of Nana Addo Akufo continue to hijack my family, exploit us, involving stakes in the United Nations. Totally unacceptable. I would say it over and over again. The only way to the right way that must be and should be done for peace is justice. I would not have to. I will not marry the U.S. undercover agent. This is too dangerous for me to engage in any marital relationship with her. America is at stake, Ghana is at stake, humanity is at stake. We cannot have ourselves continue being exploited. It is very unfortunate if I have to talk about some of the issues. This borders directly on my family. The United Nations knows so well, the International Criminal Court knows so well that for the sake of the peace, the restoration of my family, there was this page, Testimony New World Disorder, on Facebook page. I had to, in the period of 2017-2019, as part of the peaceful step towards the restoring of my family in Ghana, and my family in Ghana, I had to tell them officially that I'm bringing down the page Testimony New World Disorder, because there had been certain exposés that directly had impacted my family in family members in Ghana. And so far as peace was concerned, a restoring of the family was concerned, there was a need for the page to the page to be discontinued and be brought down. Unfortunately, the old information that had been on the page is being exploited. Is being used to exploit my family members in Ghana, and just because Nana Addo Akufo had to cover up the crime, they have to play their political game in such a way that they must continue to exploit my family. Records that had gone privately to the International Criminal Court, the United Nations, the US government, they are all being used to exploit the family tactically, just to create bad blood between the family. So long as the family is not in unity, there is disagreement, there's apathy, we are divided, they get away, the government of Nana Addo Akufo get away with the covering up of the crime and the issue again, issue at the International Criminal Court. Humanity and the nations of the world. The state of Ghana has benefited financially and materially. They have benefited militarily from the US military. They have benefited so much in this issue. There are preachers in Ghana, some that have benefited so well. That is why we see some individuals like, we should not be surprised as to how Owusu Bempa and somebody like Owusu Eduona, they've all taken a staunch position of hatred and hating my family, and we should not be surprised. There are some preachers that have benefited, some ordinary Ghanaians. They call this whole gold digging thing, they call it galamsey. There is the galamsey that the Ghanaian people have been told about, and there is the galamsey that the Ghanaian people, that the political stake, the diplomatic stake, international stakes also know about. This is all about somebody staying forces in America, wiring some money to somebody's account, and letting them aid the terror network of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo. So it's a whole fortune gold digging field that the situation of humanity is being exploited to the endangering of Israelis, the security of Israel, Palestine, Muslims, Christians, and Judeans of the nations of the world. So there is no reason for my family members to be killed, and after they have been killed, they continue to hijack the family and exploit us on political lines that the crimes be covered. No, humanity and the nations, we should not accept this total heinous crimes with impunity and injustice against the innocent people of Ghana that have been killed. I want to appeal to the noble people of Ghana. The families that a family of Ebony Kaba, Parkwesi Bisata, the family of His Excellency John Evans, Fifi Atamdale, the family of Jerry John Roy, you all deserve compensation under the law for what has been done to us. But however, what we should not accept is we accepting compensation, whether secretly or however they are doing it, and we want to do it, continue doing it. We should not accept it and allow the crimes to continue against our nation and our people. If we allow them to do it on a private note, like they will continue the killing. So we must stand for the defense of the blood of the Ghanaian people, the state of Ghana, the state of Israel, Palestine. We must stand for the defense of the human race, the United Nations. We are all at stake. Humanity, let's all stand together in this issue. God bless you. God bless my homeland, Ghana. Bye-bye.